Hello, my beautiful friends and beaters. Welcome to Friday Frolic Fun Day. And thank you guys so much for joining me for today's fun packed show. We have an awesome show for today, if you can call it a show, even though we're just looking at my mat. But thank you guys so much for joining. As you can see from the decor, let's do first things first. Today is my birthday, guys. So, happy birthday. Happy birthday. And you know what, guys? It's just, I'm another year older. That's really what this all comes down to, is I'm just another year older. But today is my birthday, and I'm so excited that my birthday fell on a Friday this year. And guess what I'm doing, guys? When you guys are watching this, I will be at the beach. I've decided to do an evening bonfire. So we're going to do an evening bonfire over at the beach. I think we're going to go down to the South Bay and maybe Manhattan Beach or Hermosa down there. Just some really, really lovely beaches down there. So that's what we're going to do. I have not done that in decades, I feel. Like it's been like a long time, too long. So that's what my plans are for tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend planned. But again, see I have a little situation going on because we have to have a little festivity on the mat. So also today, guys, guess what? We're going to be announcing our gratitude giveaway winner. We're going to be doing that in a little bit after we get to our fun project, because we have to do a fun project. I have a really fun project in store for today. So a jam-packed show today. Guys, I also want to go through some of the comments and talk about some of the feedback that I got on the question that I asked on last Friday's video about jewelry styles and aesthetics. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But first of all, guys, shall we talk about the project we're going to get into? Let's get into our project first, friends. By the way, my bracelet, friends, I made this out of my Botanic sparkle bag. This is a triple strand. It is in my bracelets playlist. I thought that was pretty for today. I love that. Those gorgeous tulip flower beads and some of that light cherry with that green and the blush mix. And I do have a 925 sterling silver clasp. All of this, except for I think the clamshell or wire guardian there, came in that sparkle bag a couple months back. I just love this. It's such a lightweight, darling piece. So that's the bracelet I'm wearing today. If you are interested in making something like that, you can check out that in my playlist. So guys, we're going to make a beautiful bracelet. Excuse me. No, we're not. Scratch, cancel, rerun. See, I'm already a year older and you see how I'm behaving. We are going to make a beautiful double strand Coriana beading chain necklace today. And we are going to make a beautiful component. And this is going to be project 2 if you are in project mode for my sparkle bags. This is project 2 from my birthday bash July sparkle bag. Let me pull you guys in and show you. We're going to make one together, but I already made a sample with that beautiful glass mermaid tail and the moonstone, and then we've got the check glass in there. So we're going to make, and then also I've got a couple of the teeny tots in there. So that's what we're going to make, and that's going to be our focal. And friends, what the other thing we're going to do here is I've got some of it constructed because it does take a minute. And we've got such a bag show. I wanted to get a few things done. But we're going to do a floating double strand Coriana chain necklace. So here is what I've done so far. Let me get organized, for heaven's sakes. I've got my clamshells on 3 of my strands, and then we'll do the last one together, of course. And I did already do the floats on my middle strand here, and I just did 4 of the 4mm rondelles in that came in the bag. So I did cut my chain, friends, to tell you where I'm at, and we're going to do the component first. But to make a floating, you're going to need a lot of crimps, so crimp heavy. doing a float if you're not familiar. And then we're using 4 clamshells. And I'm using a tiny, because it kind of goes in scale with my chain. It is that 925 sterling silver plated toggle clasp. It's very dainty, darling little clasp. So I've done that. And then I have 2 pieces of chain that I've cut. And they are 18 and 20 inches. So the outer strand is 20 and the inner strand is 18. And let me zoom you in a little here so you can see what I've done here on this inner strand. Just kind of placed my little beads, staggering, a bit of asymmetrical going on there. It should be really, really pretty. And then we're going to place the rest of the beads on the outside. This should be really, really pretty. So guys, the other thing I am working with, I grabbed from my stash, is an oval. So I've got a 5mm oval. So you'll need 2 jump rings. And then I did grab some bead caps. I think we're going to use some bead caps on my synthetic Moonstone here. So just to give it a little something. And then we're going to use some 24 gauge craft wire. I'm using 24 gauge craft wire for my focal. Now you can use 22 or 20 gauge, but I like the 24 gauge because it's just thin enough to where it allows my spiral to be here, but also, I'll turn it to the side, it allows my little mermaid tail to kind of freely move about. I just think that's so cute. So I like the thinner gauge wire for this particular component. So let's get going and let's go ahead and make our mermaid tail, friends. And that's these beads right here. So for the mermaid tail, I'm using 2 Moonstone, of course, one of my mermaid tails, and then some of the check pressed Hawaiian flower beads, 1 each in the crystal opal and the aquavitral, and then 2 of the, I think it's either cornflower or pale blue, the 4mm. And then I've got my wire here, guys. So what I'm going to do is I've already straightened it out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut about that much, probably about a 5-6 inch piece, something like that. Okay. And what I'm going to do, friends, I'll pull you in. I think you need a close up. You need a close up for the mermaid situation, don't you? I'll keep this one in camera so you can kind of see where we're going. This is really, really easy. It's so fun too, though, friends. It's really an easy little component. So cute. Everything is just twirling around. I just love it. So I'm going to grab my round nose. I'm going to go on the very end and also go to the very edge of my wire that I did flush cut to make the smallest loop that I can and turn that in. So we will turn in a very, very small loop just until it touches the inside of the other side of my wire. Okay, just like that. Okay, so there's my loop. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around 3 rotations and I'm going to press down with my left hand while I hold that spiral that I'm making in between my pliers. I'm just still using my round nose. Of course, you can use your flat nose. Sorry. As always, guys, I'm banging and flinging things. We're just going to make a really small spiral here. And so I'm just opening and closing my pliers as I'm pushing the wire around here to make a cute little spiral. And as I'm always saying, slow and steady wins the race here on this, guys. See, I think I went around 3 times. Really, really easy to work with this 24 gauge. I like that that gauge wire for this little darling situation we're doing here. Okay, so now really you can go around, guys, as many times as you want. Okay, so now Let me get things out of the way, guys. If you only knew how much I have, because also, guys, we're going to be looking at the prize. So this is just going to be a packed show. That's what I've got for my spiral. Now, you can go around as many times as you want. I just wanted to kind of keep it in scale with my mermaid tail. Okay, but you can make it bigger if you wanted. That would be cute too. Okay, so I think that's good right there. Okay, and I'm going to go around just one more time. Or I'm going to go like 1/4 rotation there. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to take my wire and I am going to feed it right through the top of my mermaid tail. And now what I'm going to do, guys, is literally just press this up, this spiral up against my mermaid tail. Just like that. And that's what you have. Okay, and I'm holding that on there while I'm straightening that wire. So this is what we have now. Okay, and then what I'm doing, and we're gonna have to finagle with this quite a few times, just keep straightening out. That's okay. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on a moonstone on. The reason, guys, that I found this 8mm moonstone to work here is because it did not go inside. Can you see that little space? I have some negative space there between my spiral and the back of the wire. I didn't want anything there so that my mermaid tail can freely move about. So I decided to put the moonstone there, besides the fact it just looks so pretty. Just looks so pretty next to that mermaid tail, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. And then what I did was a 4mm. And then I did the aqua vitral check Hawaiian flower here. And that's what we have. Okay, and then again, just, hold your little spiral and, finagle your wire, straighten it out, however you need to do that. Okay, so now what we're going to do, friends, is we are going to do a wire wrap loop at the top. So I am going to make my loop, what way? It doesn't really matter. I guess we'll go this way. So we'll just do a small wire wrap loop. So I'm going to go up and around and turn my pliers, pull this wire to the back, and then let's straighten that loop out. And then we'll just wrap that around there a couple times. I think I only did like 2. I only needed like 2 wraps. Yeah. Okay, and so there we go. And again, see, it's moving about, but that's okay. That's what we want. We kind of want it to be freely moving about. But the wire and everything is nice and straight. So let's get rid of that tail. Trim that. Trim and tuck, guys. Trim and tuck. Oh my God, if you guys caught my video the other day when I was saying that, I cannot. Okay, so let's get that there like that, and let me get that loop straightened out a little bit. Okay, so we're dealing with 24 gauge, it's okay. And there we go. Okay, so this is what we have. And now, to make the second component, I'm actually going to just cut another small piece of wire, probably, 3 or 4 inch piece. You don't need much. And I've already straightened it out and flush cut on both sides, okay? Let me pull you out just a little bit. I feel like I'm too close. Okay, guys. And then we were going to do the makings of a wire wrap loop, but I'm going to attach it directly to the bottom component that we just made. So we will just make a small loop here. We will start that. So we've got that far, and then I'm just going to pop that open, and now I'm going to go ahead and feed this component on there, and then we will wrap that around. Just once or twice. That's fine. And then we will trim that away. And let's see if I'm straight there. So now I'm gonna keep finagling, straightening things out, making sure my loop is going the opposite, which it is. And now just feed on whatever beads you want. I'm gonna do a moonstone, and then the crystal opal check flower, and then another one of the 4mm. And there we go. And then what I'm doing, friends, is because we want this to be the front of our necklace, right? So what I am going to do is make sure that my loop is going the correct direction to feed on my necklace. And if it's not, we can always turn our loop. But there is my front, right? So I am going to make my loop this way. This way. Yes, this way. I had to think about it. Okay, and then same thing, we'll make that nice and straight. And we will just wrap that around to fill up that space there. There we go. And trim and tuck. So that is how I have basically made my little mermaid component. So cute. So cute. Isn't that pretty? And let me straighten my loop out. And so now what you can do, friends, is because it's such thin gauge wire, even if you're working with some 22 or 20 gauge, you know, you can just lay it down on your mat and kind of just straighten everything out. Just make sure everything is nice and kosher. And notice how this is the front, and then notice therefore how my loop is going this way, right? Because you want to hang that and drape that. Sorry. You want to drape that right on the necklace. So you want your loop facing that direction. And so that's how I made my cute little mermaid component. Now let's get over here to finishing construction on this beauty. Oh, it's so pretty, guys. So pretty. And then when we're done, friends, we're going to do random picker. We're going to pick a winner for my gratitude giveaway. And I want to read some of the comments, and then we will look at the prize, and then I will give you instruction. By the way, guys, I will tell you at the end, but everything will be in the show notes. Whoever the winner is, how to contact me to claim your prize, and I will give you until Sunday night. By the way, Sunday night to claim your prize, and if not, then we will pick another winner. So here's what I've got. Now, let's go ahead and pull in all of our jump rings. So, as I said, you know, you can cut this any length. I've cut a 20-inch piece and an 18-inch piece. And then you can just do your floats and place them anywhere you want to place them. It's just a complete design preference, okay? But I'm going to make sure that I have my short strand on the inside. So let me get things organized here. So this needs to be turned this way. Okay, so where my floats already are is on the inside. So let me just kind of put that there. So what I'm going to want to do, guys, is I'm going to put a crimp on first. So because I've already finished off this side, right? So I did a crimp and then a clamshell, right? And close that. So now in order to place all my beads for my float, I'm going to be putting a crimp on before and after every single bead, right? And then you can get your beads placed just exactly where you want them placed. So I'm going to feed on a crimp, and then I am going to go with the darker blue 4mm. And by the way, friends, I wanted to put some of the check flowers on here. They do not fit on my Coriander beading chain, so I could not do that. Could not put them on here. So just FYI, if you are wanting to do something similar, the check beads will not fit on the Coriana chain. So let's get that where okay. So now I've got a crimp, a bead, a crimp. And now for my next bead, I'm gonna do a crimp. And these are number 1 crimps, by the way, guys. And then I am going to do a bead cap and a moonstone. And the moonstone do fit on here. And then another bead cap. And then another crimp. Okay, and then I think I want like this kind of to be here. And you know, I kind of visualize where I want things before, you know, I move to the next section. Okay, that I think probably maybe around here. And then I think I'm going to do a crimp and a 4mm, and then we're going to put our mermaid on, our mermaid component. So I'll put this guy here. And I need more crimps. So again, guys, if you are not familiar with doing a floating, every time I'm putting on a bead, I am putting 2 crimps next to that bead so that we can stabilize our beads in our floating pattern, right? So we're just gonna, I'm gonna continue this, doing the same thing. And then I will see you guys in a minute. I'll fast forward here. And we will start to place our floats. Okay, friends, so I am back and I have placed all of my crimps and all of my beads just exactly the way that I want them. And now I am going to add my clamshell and my crimp on the end here. So before I do that, I wanted to show you what we have going on here. So I just wanted to point out that every single time I put on a crimp, a bead, and a crimp, then another crimp, and then another bead section. So each station of my beads will be stabilized by crimps, right? So pull you down just a little bit so you can you see that? Can you see where everywhere that I have a bead station, there are 2 crimps next to each bead station for the previous bead station. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so this is what I've come up with. So now in order to start to stabilize my floatings, there's a lot of ways you can do it. What I do, friends, is I usually finish it off first at my ends with my clamshells. And the reason I do that is so that it gives me something to hold on to. And I can really see how my necklace is going to look. So now that I have fed on my last bead station, right? So I got a crimp, a bead, a crimp. I am then going to feed on my clamshell. And you'll do the same thing on all of your strands. And make sure your belly is facing up and out, right? And then we'll let that drop down. And we'll go ahead and feed on a crimp. And you can use your crimping tool. I just usually use my chain nose. But you can also use your crimping tool. You just need to squeeze it once. And so I'm going to take that crimp all the way to the end of that chain, just leaving a little bit of a tail. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a nice firm squeeze. Let me pull you in a little bit there. Okay, so then I do my tug test, pull on that, make sure it's not going anywhere. Notice I have just a little bit of tail. Right, and then we'll pull the clamshell up. And we'll go ahead and close the clamshell. And now, making sure my necklaces are not twisted, I will grab a jump ring and the other part of my toggle, and we can go ahead and put these two strands on, and the toggle on the jump ring. Let me get coordinated. Okay, so I'm using ovals. So I'm going to crank that open. So I'm going to make sure that I'm feeding my inner strand on first. And then on the outside, I'll feed on the outer strand here. And then the bar portion of my toggle I'll put on the outside of that jump ring. And then we'll go ahead and close that oval up. Make sure that's nice and snug. And so now I've got something to hold on to do my floats. And so what I do, friends, is I basically will find my center, which is pretty much down here, right? And I will match up my tops up here. I'm trying to keep it all in camera here, guys, on an angle, for that very reason here. I have my necklace on an angle. So I've got my toggles lined up here, and then I'm going to pull that mermaid component we just made to where there's the center of my necklace, and then we will pull that center strand. Let me get it untwisted there. Okay, and that's pretty much the way it's going to lay for the most part. Okay, so I've already stabilized my center beads. I just put 4 little 4mm. I'll zoom you way in. So what I do, guys, is it's just literally a matter of deciding where you want your beads to be. So I'm going to hold on to my toggle and start to push all these guys down. I'm just going to work with one of my beading stations at a time. Okay, and so I think I want that to be about right there. And all I'm going to do is go with my chain nose underneath the chain, and putting my pliers in between the crimps, and then just squeeze it once. Then I'm going to grab the crimp next to it, push it all the way over until it stops right there where that crimp is. I just squoze. Squeezed. Squoze. I always say squoze. And now we will go ahead and give that a squeeze. And now those beads are floating and station, or stable in their little station. And it's just a matter of design aesthetic now, friends. You just put your floats wherever you want your floats. So I'm going to make sure these guys go down here for that component. I think I want this to be about right here. So I'm going to squeeze that. I'm going to grab the crimp next to that bead cap, push that up, and squeeze. And a little bit of movement, not much, so that's fine. Sometimes you get a dud crimp, but I think I did okay. I think these are all okay. Okay, and then next one. So I'm going to kind of go about right there. Just squeeze that crimp. And then the next crimp, I'm going to go ahead and squeeze that. I'm sorry, I'm out of camera now, guys, sorry. Okay, so now I'm on this one, and now I'm going to move this one over, let it touch the crimp I just stabilized there. And now I'm going to squeeze that crimp. And let's keep going on down the line. So I'll pull you out so you can see here. Okay, so up at the top, I'm even. And let's see here. Get this pulled down. It's going to keep moving on you. It's fine. Okay, so that one's done. And now I'm going to have, I think, this one about about right here. So I'm just going to squeeze that and pull this next crimp up. I'm going to hold my mermaid component so I can push that bead up until it stops there. And we'll grab that and squeeze that on the chain. And now I am going to push these guys right next to that mermaid component. I'm going to put all that out of the way. And this is where I'm trying to be careful that I'm centering my necklace and my component is centered. Looks pretty good about right there. And that, what I'm doing up here, guys, can you tell? Up here, I'm matching up my clamshells is what I'm doing there. For the most part. And you know what? That's about as good as it's gonna get. So now I'm going to, if it moves a little, that's fine, but I'm just gonna get that crimp pushed pretty close. And then we're gonna go ahead and give that a squeeze. And then the same on this side. Let's see if I'm not even a lefty, guys. Let's see if I can do it. Can I squeeze a crimp on my chain and coordinate myself with my left hand? That'd be very interesting if I could. Ha! But I couldn't hold them. Couldn't hold the pliers, but I got it on there. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do this, repeat the same thing up here, friends. I'm just pushing my crimps into place wherever I want my little beading stations to be. Floating about. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. Is so precious. Oh my goodness. Look at what we have made. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys are inspired and enjoyed today's project for Friday Frolic Fun Day. I'm trying to get the whole thing in. I'm going to have to get the situation pushed up so I can get this whole thing in for you guys. Can you see? Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. I love it. Love this double strand floating necklace. God, that is stunning. Oh, I'm gonna put it together here and we'll put it on an angle here, guys. See if you can see what I've got. Oh, isn't that just absolutely precious? Absolutely precious. So pretty and dainty for these summer months, isn't it? But you know me with my blue. I'll wear this all year. There we go, guys. So there is our project. Let's get into, I wanted to just work. Okay, I have to keep this in camera. This is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so pretty. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh. So pretty. I wanted to, we have, let me get my phone open here, guys. I want to show you guys also the prize. So let's get into our gratitude giveaway. Yay. It's time for the fun stuff, right? We've waited long enough, right? So I wanted to just bring in, I have to reach it left to me, guys, because I want to show you guys the prize that I came up with. And then we are going to, let me get some stuff cleaned up, guys, because it's so much going on here, you don't even know. Let me get things out of the way. And then I wanted to share with some of the comments with you guys too. So hopefully that inspires you guys. And I just thought it'd be fun to talk about some of the most popular styles of jewelry. I did see a trend. I saw a trend from all of you. So that made me happy. So first, guys, let me put my phone to the side. I'm going to bring in, and we're going to do the prize reveal. So let me get this tray over here, and I am going to have to move my necklace because it's so much going on. So this is the first tray, and this is the second tray. Okay, I can't even get it all in, guys. I'm going to have to smush. I'm going to have to smush my little ribbon. This, my friends, is about to come to one of you beautiful beaters. Yes, all of this because it is my pleasure and my honor to be here, and thanks to all of you for getting me here and keeping me here, and we're continuing to grow. And so I came up with a whole bunch of things and beautiful beading supplies and beads and sparkle and stuff and things. So let me go through, guys, what's happening here one tray at a time. Let me start with the beads. So guys, I'm not going to go through every single one because we'll be here another hour, but this is just chocked full. And what I wanted to do was just give you a bunch of color and some things that are going to go together, but maybe just add to your stash, and you've got some beautiful things to add to this. So guys, I've got just about every shape and size I can imagine here. So we've got, for example, these are some beautiful teardrop crystals in camel. And this came from my personal stash. This beautiful leopard jasper gemstone is stunning. It's huge. It's probably 45 millimeters at least. It is center drilled. But you could also do like a wrap on it, make a bail. This is what it looks like. It's almost looks like a chunky triangle, right? And I love this bead. It's beautiful. So that will make a gorgeous necklace. And then, guys, I don't even know what to do. Okay, I will just start to set things. And then, guys, there are, like, the blue family. These are the two-tone cyan. I just put these in my, I think it was my June sparkle bag. Yeah, I think so. They are absolutely stunning. These are 8mm faceted rondelles. They are just absolutely the most beautiful rondelle, but they're kind of like a greenish blue. And then this gradient blue strand of the teeny tots, the 4mm. Isn't that beautiful? I love this. And so you've got that strand, and then there's some quartz here, friends. So somebody's gonna get, there's just whatever, I don't know what, I didn't count. I just was throwing things onto the beading tray. So there's some quartz beads. Those are 8mm, and that is, I believe, in cyan is the color. So that goes beautifully. So there's some blue, but all of this really just goes together. Guys, there's several. Here's some of the creamy white. These were in my July bag. 6mm rondelles. And here's some 6mm rounds. And they're this beautiful frosted matte. The green and the light cherry. I love the way this looks together. That's exactly what I have going on here. So that to me is just a whole entire vibe. Let's just get things all kind of like laid around. And then let me get this out and then this out. And then there are some really beautiful pink bicones. These are a 4mm in a really beautiful baby pink. Looks so pretty with the cherry. It goes with, just everything kind of goes. I love these 6mm rondelles in lilac. Just absolutely gorgeous. So you've got some purples. There's some more of the teeny tots, the 4mm. I've got them right here in this bracelet. This is the green meadows. They're just really long strands as well. And then there's some 6mm, and they are transparent pale green, or 4mm, sorry if I said 6mm. So some more 4mm. So several strands of the 4mm, 4 strands of those, and then a couple strands of the 6mm rounds, a couple strands of the 6mm rondelles, an 8mm strand, and then the 6mm teardrops, and then the big 14mm. These are just stupendous. I love, love, love these. They're gorgeous. And then these guys, so beautiful. These are 8mm crackle frosted beads. They're in lilac and white. They're just a beautiful glass frosted bead. I love these so much. And to me, this palette just goes, again, the quartz, and then a couple of strands of some green aventurine gemstones. These are the bicones. Here are some 6mm rounds. So we've got quite a few gemstones going on. And then, guys, this tray. Okay, let me just take this stuff off, and so I can bring the other tray in. And So guys, I've got the second tray here in front of me, and these guys, these cylinder cocoa beads, oh my gosh, I cannot. Okay, it's just a whole vibe. It's just all kind of stuff. Here's another gemstone, guys. This is a fluorite. It's absolutely beautiful pendant, just stunning. So you will be getting that. So that's another gemstone. And then there are some tohos here in this gorgeous custard, and then the amethyst. So you will get several bags of your tohos. And then, guys, I have some of the tulip beads, which I have right here. The tulip and leaf flower. You're getting those. Here are some really cute bead caps. Just adorable acrylic bead caps in the lilac and the blue. They blend in beautifully. There are some more bead cones here, friends. There's some gold bead cones, and then there's some silver bead caps here. Here are some, there's some gold spacers. They're really, really cute as well. Here is a really cool pave magnetic clasp. The gold with the beautiful silver rhinestones. Wanted to throw that in. 4 sets of those toggles we just got in my birthday bash bag. Really cool toggles. I love those. Here's a really cool pendant. It's kind of like a flower. I love that pendant. And then, guys, ear wires, you get plenty. These are both 304 stainless steel, tarnish resistant and hypoallergenic in both gold and silver. Just a ton of ear wires. I'll bring them up. They're both exactly the same style. I love these. They're so simple and fun to work with. Love these ear wires. So plenty of those. Here's some of the links that just came in my, again, my birthday bash bag. I wanted to pull some of that in here. These are so cool, these links. They look like a wave. Lots of fun you can have with those. So there is that. And then, guys, I'm going to take it away because there's just so much going on. I also put some leather in here, friends. So I've got some of this 1.5 millimeter genuine cowhide leather in the lavender and the white because, you know, we've got to have that. And then, guys, these are so fun, these rice beads in the green and in the lavender. And notice I put them in these cute little tubes. So you're going to get these. And also I want to point out before we draw the winner, guys, and talk about some of the commentary. I also have a bunch of these. These are really, really cool. I'm going to put a couple of these in your bag. They're just really, really cool things to organize some of your beads and spacers. I might actually put some of your beads in here just to get them shipped to you. But I'm going to get you a couple of these because they're also great. They stack. See how they have like a cool thing, a lid on the top? You can stack them. But they don't take up a lot of inventory, you know, or excuse me. They do not take up a lot of real estate with all of our inventory that we have on our beading desks. So I'm going to give you some of these, quite a few. I'm going to see however many I can fit in my package. So those are coming your way too. And so, guys, I just wanted to, while we just look at that right now, I wanted to just talk about, I'll put this over here to the side. The majority of you talked about bracelets and earrings. It's so funny. Very few of you actually even mentioned necklaces, although some of you did. But you know what the most popular style, friends, was most certainly of bracelets was stretch. So many of you. I'm not mad at you. I love my stretch bracelets too. And that actually inspired me with July's bag to make some stretch bracelets. So many of you, like me, love our bracelets, don't we? Terry had mentioned that she loves to do gemstone earrings and bracelets. I hear you, Terry. I love my gemstones. And then Colleen, my friend, Colleen, our beautiful beader, and I hope you guys are following her. She did the unboxing of last month's Seashores bag. We know Colleen, right? She's our earring girl. She mentioned she loves earrings and blingy and dangly. I love it, my friend. Love it. Me too. And then Heather mentioned that I love this. Heather is a new subscriber, and Heather loves to do gemstone and crystal stretch bracelets and also does medical ID bracelets. I love that, Heather. Good for you. What an amazing gift to have with purpose. I just love that. So Heather does medical ID bracelets and loves gemstone and crystals with the stretch material. Love it. And Lee mentioned that she also loves her bracelets and likes to do cha-chas. Me too. I love cha-chas. I haven't done one in a while. I've never done one. I don't know that I've done one on a bracelet on the channel. I have done it on a necklace in a lariat. And also does rosaries and phone straps. I love it, Lee. Love it. Mary mentioned that she loves to do multi-strands and work with multi-strands and use chunky pendants. And she loves to make jewelry that has purpose and cosmic meaning. Mary, I love that. I love that. I'm here for it, my friend. I'm here for it. You know, we've had many people mention Angela. Angela mentioned that she also stretch bracelets and knotting and check glass. Exactly, Angela. Exactly. And many other, May mentioned that she loves boho. Quite a few of you mentioned statement and boho, and May mentioned that she's into chainmail. I love it, May. I love chainmail, boho, and you love working with leather and pearls right now. I hear you. And a lot of you also mentioned that you just love, like, whether it's sparkly or blingy or earthy, it just depends on your mood, and you just love beading. Yay! Me too, my friends. I love beading too. So I just wanted to share some of those comments with you guys. So just so we're all on the same page, it is Friday and we are drawing a winner today. So my friends, I have put the video link in the random comment picker, okay? And it is in here already. Right here is the video. And I am filtering out the duplicate users. You guys ready? Drum roll, please. We're getting ready to get a winner. And we will have one winner. And you guys ready? I'm gonna solve the sum so that we can find a winner. Okay, guys, 8 plus 4, I'm fairly certain is 12. 8 plus 4 better be 12. Get your comments. So you ready, guys? Here we go. Amount of unique comments is 16. So 16, because it's extracting my comments, my replies to all of you. And some of you made more than one comment. So we filtered it out that way. And so we have unique comments, 16. And I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so 9 plus 4 is 13. Okay, what's happening, guys? Okay, forgive me. Show random names. What am I doing wrong? Okay. Okay. Yes. One winner. I don't know what's happening. Show a random name. Okay. Is it start raffle and pick winner? Is it the big start button in front of me? There we go, guys. There we go. That's what it was. Yay! May Foxworth, 8644. Yay, May, my friend. May, oh my goodness. And what May's comment was, beautiful earrings. My favorite right now is chainmail and boho, leather, pearls. It all just depends on my mood. I hear you, my love. I hear you. So I'm so excited, May. You are actually, I do already have your information because you order from my store all the time. I will put my email over in the show notes below. And I just need you to simply reply to this video by Sunday, just so we make sure we're keeping it fair. And I already have your shipping info. Honey, you don't need to send me anything. I know where you are. I will pull that information out of my store. So we have May Foxworth 8644 is our winner for my gratitude giveaway, 3,000 subscribers. Yay! Thank you guys all so much for participating in my giveaway and being a part of today's video for my birthday. And I hope you guys were inspired with there's just so much going on with today's project, my friends. And you will make a beautiful floating necklace of your own with our gorgeous little mermaid situation. Oh, I just love it. Okay, my friends, until the next one, be blessed.